Hey guys, Sam here, and sorry for the delay in videos. There's been a lot going on this previous year. The Cleveland Browns ended up buying our house, so we're kind of in the transition of moving. My dad ended up having foot surgery again, and then I recently fell, hit my chin, chipped some teeth, the old chestnut. So the weather's kind of, well, it's snowing. So I've decided to do another build, model car build that is. While we were moving, we found this model car kit here. We actually got it from my uncle several years ago. It's a 1925 Model T, and we've done some research on it because it looks kind of old. And the research that we've done on it says it's from the 60s. So let's get ready and crack into this and see what we have inside. All right, as I was saying, it's a 1925 Model T, and this was made in the 1960s. We've opened it before a while back, and I noticed there were newspaper clippings in it, but we just kept it in with it, and we never really read or whatever on them. We just put everything back in because we didn't want to lose anything. So here's what we have on the inside. You got the instructions, and there's a lot of different ways to do the building. And these were the news papers clippings we were talking about. This one's talking about JFK, and this one was Monday, November 2nd, 1964. So that's pretty neat. And then here's another one that has talking about like dresses and other stuff. And then earlier today I was looking, and it actually has stuff about the Browns. So how ironic that the Cleveland Browns buys our house, and then it talks about, or we have newspaper clippings that talk about the Browns. So that's pretty neat. We're actually thinking about seeing if the guy that bought our house from the Browns would like this article, but we're still debating on that. And this article was from Sunday, October 8th, 1961. So now into the main parts. So we got a body, another body. So you're able to make multiple styles of the Fords. So I'm guessing we're probably going to go with this route because we're more into the hot rods. So here's the front end of the one. I don't know if we have all the pieces because again, we were given it, and this is how, when we got it, it looked. So here's some more parts. And then here's the bottom. So like this would sit on here, and then you got like the fenders. And you got a top. Got some of the glass. Here's a frame. And then I believe this is another frame because there's a muffler on it. So I'm guessing you could possibly get away with making two models out of this, but again, I'm not too sure. Alright guys, so I got both of the bodies out, and after going through all of this stuff in this kit, I honestly believe we could build two models. So we are going to try to do that. We're going to try to build both of them. But we're going to start off with this one because I feel like this one's going to be simpler, because we're going to do this as if it was a stock Model T. So it'll pretty much look like this, which is very plain. So we're going to do that for that one. But then when we get to this one, we're going to go a little bit, as my dad likes to say, Liberace. We're using the axles for the original one first, we're not gonna have axles for the hot rod one, but I do have a model car set that is like a Charger. So I took the axles out of that so we can build the other one. So now I got all the pieces out. I'm going to start like painting and getting things put together. Alright guys, I'm going to start on the engine block. I did glue this one already. And it is actually a pretty straightforward model. I'm not really looking at the instructions as of right now because I'm just putting these together, and there's not as many pieces. So there's 2 pieces for this, and then you add like the bottom of the engine, then you got the exhaust, and this is also the I'm guessing like carburetor too. So like it's, and then you got the head. Got the head, and then you got the fan. Try it. There we go. So then you got the fan. So putting these pieces together are pretty easy. And then I did some research. I saw that a lot of the engine blocks were green. So I'm gonna go with that. So it's gonna be a green block. So time to finish putting it together. Alright guys, so I painted the engine, and as you see, well, maybe not as you see, but as you see, the color didn't show up. So I got white primer, so I'm gonna paint it white, then paint the green. But since we are doing the other one, the hot rod, we're going to also primer that body just so it's done. And so we're going to primer the body and let it sit, and so we could get that the color we wanted. While off camera, I did a little bit of work. I repainted the engine. I painted the rims brown, and I went light brown with a darker brown, so that you got a wood grain look. Then I put the axles in, and now on to the next step, which I think is finishing all of this. There's actually not that many pieces, surprisingly, for this piece, but I am excited to do the next build, because this one, it's kind of just all black, but I did do a red stripe to kind of break it up a bit here. But there's not much painting on this, because I looked up Model Ts, and they're all kind of just black and plain. So that's what we're going with here. So there's not much painting being done on this, but the next one should be a bit crazier. Alright guys, so there it is. I got it all finished. So now it's time to start on the other one. But I just wanted to show you this one with the once it's all complete. Came with the crank, got the headlights on, the grill. The hood does remove, you could remove it, so you could look at the engine. And I went with the green because every time I looked up the engine on these, I saw green, so I went with green. Then I did the red stripe mainly just to break up the black, because it would have just been too much black. There wasn't much going on with this one, but I just wanted to show you all that we did and that we got. so now it's time to make this custom one. So the custom hot rod. Alright guys, so we've decided to go with this shift color paint because we would like to try it on go-karts eventually, because I think it'd be a neat thing to do. And as you saw earlier, we painted this white and then we went over it with the paint, and we noticed it kind of turned paint. So then I got the reading, and on the back it says apply over a black base coat. Well, we applied white, so now we got this black here, so we're gonna paint the stuff again, but black, let it dry, then hit it with the shift color. Alright guys, so this is the body after 2 coats of the color shifting paint, and as you see, it goes from purple to like blue, and this is with the proper base coat, because before when we did it, it turned pink somehow. So this is what we got now, and we'll definitely be trying this out on a go-kart somehow, because I really like the way it looks. Now time to put everything back together. We got all the pieces painted that we want to get painted. We got the body, the bed, firewall, just a bunch of odds and ends. We even painted the frame the same. We wanted to see, because we painted this top white, we wanted to do a little mock-up before everything to see if everything looks good. And come to find out, the bed, which I'm kind of upset about because we were going to show you us making wooden slats for it, but the bed sits way too long. So good thing we painted the turtle back because we wanted to test the paint before doing this, because when we had it white, it didn't show up right, and we said we read it said it had to go on black base coat. So I grabbed this to test it on, and it didn't work. So we're gonna now have to use this back, which is fine, but so now we'll just throw everything together. And for the engine, I'm gonna use this. This came off of the engine off the Charger, and it's a Hemi. So I'm gonna, this is the frame. We're gonna figure out a way to mount it to the frame. So it's gonna have a large engine, but I want to take these headers off. Mainly this one's loose, but I want to take these off, and I want to use these chrome ones. So I'm probably going to cut these off and then mount the engine, and then kind of do the headers last so they kind of sit right with the body and the frame. I'm putting the frame together, so I collected all the pieces for it, and I was putting the engine in, and because of it's not for this model, it didn't quite fit. So I was going to mount it in its normal spots, but that pushed it way back so it wouldn't have fit in the firewall. So I ended up putting this bar here. I have old pieces for a model. I just cut the bar out, and I trimmed it up, and I glued it onto here. So now that's the engine support. So now the engine fits where it needs to fit for the body to fit on. So now I'm just gluing in the chrome pieces pretty much, and I'm gonna put the axles in and the engine in, and then finish putting the body together. Alright guys, so I got the frame pretty much all together. I added this bar here for the engine because I had to move it up a bit for the engine and the body to fit on together. And I also shortened the drive shaft so it could be glued onto the engine as well. And we finished up adding more of the details, and so now we're going to glue the engine on, and then after that dries we're going to put the body on, and then that should be complete after that. So I'm going to glue this on now. I just finished the hot rod, and let me tell you, it looks awesome. So I'm going to show you the two finished product. I know you already saw the one, the stock, but I want to show you the two together. And there was a lot of customizing done on this hot rod one. Like I used parts from different models and just try to make it all work. So here it is. So this is the custom one, all complete. We decided to go with a white top, and then if you look inside, we got a white shifter ball and a white steering handle. Then we've decided to go with the shifting paint. As you see, it goes from purple to blue. And then the headers are actually from this kit. The engine is a Hemi out of a 69 Charger. The tires and rim setup, the tires themselves are from this kit. The rims are from the Charger, and a lot of the rest of the stuff is from this kit, minus the engine and the rims. We wanted to go kind of crazy, so we went with all the chrome, and we even painted the frame the same color. So you got the shift in there, the steering wheel and the shifter. The black parts have the shifting, and the dash has the shifting collar. Then you got the stock right here, which this one was a lot easier to make because everything just fit in. I'll show you the engine. So you got the stock engine compared to the engine that you put in on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed your cruise down Delashment Road.